right, let's fucking rock out. Welcome to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. I am here with Joe Kinney and my man Frater Chaplin, and a few announcements real quick. We have the upcoming 2022 Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast Toy Drive, and that shit is happening right now. From September 15th to December 20th, we will be collecting toys for the Eden's Rose Foundation and Grateful Villages of Albany, New York. Two super worthy organizations, and we'll get into what these organizations are about a little later. But what the fuck is good, guys? What's good?
Chilling. How are you?
Same.
Yeah, fucking. It's time. That's that time of year, bro. You're in the fucking in the field.
Yeah.
Of making shit happen for the less fortunate.
On the ground floor.
Yeah, but we're getting an early start this year, and
yeah, what, third year?
Third annual.
Yep.
Yeah, first international.
You fix your mic, bro. What do you got going on over there?
I don't know. What's going on here? Can you hear me now?
Way better, dude. I'm like, what is going on with your mic?
Third annual, first international.
It's like pulling down. That's so lame. I don't know what that is about.
That's all right.
But either way, yeah, third annual, dude. And I can't remember the exact number we had last year of toys, but it was close to like 1,500.
Yeah, I know it was over 1,000.
And every year it's gotten better and better. And this year we are also collecting donations for impoverished communities in Ecuador. So
yes.
If you donate $3, that shit goes straight to impoverished communities in Ecuador, and we'll most likely be going towards building houses or resources for these communities. So
how did you connect with Ecuador?
Oh, so that's the Eden's Rose Foundation.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I should pull up their shit and read it, but I'm not really feeling like it right this second. But the Eden's Rose Foundation is an organization that is there. So to be clear, Grateful Villages is under the same umbrella as the Eden's Rose Foundation, but they're like two separate organizations, kind of. You know what I mean? The Eden's Rose goes down every year to Ecuador and like helps build and does the Habitat for Humanity shit and donates their time and constantly building houses and like doing apartments and shit here for them.
You want me to read off their...
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so Eden's Rose. We are Eden's Rose. We are a nonprofit organization in Albany, New York that is dedicated to inciting change, inspiring hope, empowering sustainability. We do this through our micro projects such as the Urban Apiary, Youth Blueberry Orchard, and the Urban Farmers Training Program. Learn more about these projects here. During the pandemic, we supported our community by opening the pandemic produce pickup. So definitely a worthy cause, guys. They're keeping young people in the farming trade as well as teaching them how to be self-sustainable and have a good trade to start out on a good foot with.
Yep, and as you heard, the Blueberry Orchard is something that is over on Clinton Avenue in Albany, New York. And these kids have done the entire orchard by themselves, from growing it to sustaining it to outsourcing it, because they will be selling their shit too.
Excellent.
So go get some blueberries from Clinton Ave in New York, or Albany, New York, excuse me. But yeah, so I got hooked up through Irv. Nice. Actually, shout out to Irv from Clean Environmental Solutions. He is on the board of Grateful Villages.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah. And, so that's the toy drive this year. But
super excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Definitely.
It's at the usual locations plus one this year. So we have Flipper's Barbershop, we have Straight Razor Society, and then we have Paint Cahoe's Studio and Gallery, 144 Remsen Street in Cahoe's.
Excellent.
And yeah, it's going to be fucking cool as shit. It's
Definitely.
Time to get the vibes rolling in.
Definitely. If there are any listeners out there that want to be a part of the toy drive, please reach out. We could definitely get you to be able to let you know where to drop things off. Or if you have people that want to donate and they're kind of far out, you could get them to us. We'll let you know where to do that. Just reach out and we will get it taken care of.
Right. And the flyer is on Facebook, Instagram, all of that shit. It's got all the information you need. I will be dropping an updated one with a QR code And go follow the actual podcast page or podcast Toy Drive page.
Yes, there are two separate pages, guys. The podcast page and the podcast Toy Drive page. So check them both out.
I thought they were shadow banning me from inviting people to it.
Really? I invited about 600 or 700 yesterday myself.
Bro.
Oh, nice.
Yo, dude, I literally from my phone, my sister's phone, and Kenny's phone could not invite our friends. Like if you go to the page,
right,
you can say click invite friends. And
I was able to do like 25 or 30 at a time yesterday.
I could only do 10. 10 at a time. So I had to go back in, 10, click 10, boom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But either way, what's good, guys?
Chilling, man. Chap, how you doing?
Fucking weirdo world we're in today, huh?
Man, is it ever?
What's going on? A queen died. Fuck you guys think about that shit.
Well,
Queen Elizabeth.
Well, you and I were just talking about somewhat of what I thought, like Nostradamus predicts that the dear old king is going to abdicate the throne pretty quickly, and it's going to go to an unlikely heir. So,
but how would that happen?
I don't know. Maybe if William decides he doesn't want to take it, it goes to Harry.
So that you'd have two kings.
It goes to William's son after William.
Right. Yeah. Harry.
And then it goes to his daughter. Then it goes to his youngest son. So there's 4 people ahead of Harry.
Right wow.
Now. Yeah.
So it would have to be William's whole family would have to say, no, I don't want to do it.
All his children.
Yeah.
So his oldest son is after him, then his daughter is after him, and then his youngest son is after her. Huh. It's weird how it works like that, but yeah, it's the oldest son.
So his the daughter of
is
the
ahead
current...
of the second child.
Yeah, right. Even the daughter.
I don't even know if Harry got a title besides Prince.
No, he got a Duke of something or another.
Did he?
Let me see.
Sure, I couldn't remember.
He was a Duke of Sussex, remember?
Yeah.
Because they were doing that whole Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, but then his brother moved up because now they're now his brother's like the...
Well, heir apparent.
Yeah, but
what he is
he's
now.
Also... Him and Kate are... They have another title as well. The Duke and Duchess of...
I thought they gave up all their titles and moved to Canada.
Well, they did. But Prince Harry... Duke of Sussex was what he was. So, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, KCVO, is a member of the British royal family. So they still have him listed as that shit. But he gave up all of his royal shit. Like, that's why
he'll always be Prince, but
he gave
I don't
up
think he had any involvement.
No, he doesn't. Like, ever since they left for California and did all that weird shit. And
aren't they in Canada? Didn't they go to Canada?
I thought they were in California.
Canada. Really?
Yeah, bro. They like fucking moved to LA or some shit.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I thought originally they went in Canada for some reason.
Nah, bro. That's why it was like weird to me, like when it happened, because I could understand you trying to get out of like the royal life. You know, like, all right, you're never going to see the throne. We all know. You know, so it's like, maybe I just sit here and collect the stipends?
I'd say it's probably even better these days. So like, who would want to be that? Well, I guess
right.
If you're in the family, chances are you want to, but...
Yeah, right. If you're in the family,
all the same perks.
That's the only. There's 10 people in the world that really could ever even have that understanding of what it feels like to want that. Like, because if you're not in the family, you'll never even. Why would you want it? You know it's unattainable. You know.
Well, it's really just an indoctrination of these children. So, like, think about it. These kids, even William and Harry's, you know, and William's kids. They're all bred to through this shit. Yeah. So it's like you go from they really are. Yeah. And but not just that, they're cultivated, they're brought into these schools and they're said, hey, eventually you're gonna be the prince of this. You're gonna be the princess of this. And then guess what? They're molded into that lifestyle. Like, yeah, it was weird because they just announced that like Harry would be wearing military shit for the first time for the Queen's Vigil. So, but it's just weird to me because like the whole world is mourning this.
William was like not supposedly was, according to everything, like flying helicopters and shit in Afghanistan. Way back.
William was.
Yeah.
I could see that.
He was in their military, and I'm pretty sure that he was
in like the royal, like in the elite.
I'm pretty sure he was like flying helicopters and stuff.
That's wild, though. Yeah. You would see active duty.
That's what I mean. You would never think they would have a prince do active duty, but I'm almost positive he was.
I mean, that's a stripe. If you're like really doing the military,
he was definitely active duty. I'm not positive.
Well, I mean, Harry was too,
but
right?
I think he did.
Harry was definitely active duty.
Harry
I feel like I remember watching
Nazi uniform, dude.
I remember watching a video though where he was on
like some type of I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
check that. I think automatically
for 2 years or something, right?
I don't think they have mandatory service over there, but I'm saying I think
you
automatically have some title in the military if you're a prince. It's just. Like,
but I mean, like,
it's all that admiral shit, like, or the
they all have the fucking medals and
I feel like I remember watching an interview where Harry was having an interview while he was in the military, and he just took off running midway through the interview.
Harry did?
Yeah, because they had they had to run out on there was active shooting or something. And they had to jump out and get in a Humvee or something right away.
When you're a public figure, you're always going to have them fucking...
propaganda shit.
Yeah, I could see that too, but you're always going to have nuts.
They're not having a fucking prince over there. You kidding? Come on.
Stop it.
Yeah. And a fucking boy in Afghanistan in a war zone.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, imagine announcing that to the world.
Yeah, and exactly. They're
putting
pictures
down.
of him flying. I think it was William who was flying.
They'd clone him like Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I remember someone telling me about that Paul McCartney shit back in the day. My dad or his friends were saying, back in the day.
Car accident.
Well, yeah, but you could follow this thing where they had it played along with their albums, where you could find these hints and clues, and eventually it would lead you. Yeah,
backwards masking and all kinds of stuff like that.
It would lead you to an actual phone number somewhere down the line, and you would call the number, and someone would pick up and go, Paul. "You're getting close," and hang up on you.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really, that's a real thing.
Dead ass.
I never heard that one. I got obsessed with that whole, not just that, but it was part of other things I was.
Well, this is a good segue into this, the Hollywood shit, because what was another one? The Avril Lavigne, they were saying, was another one that was cloned, which didn't make any sense to me.
Eminem.
I could see
Dave
Eminem.
Chappelle.
I don't think Dave Chappelle. I think Eminem is possible. I don't think it's possible, obviously, but it's I don't know. Seeing him change.
Different looking people.
Seeing him change, bro, from being this fucking anti-government, anti-whatever, fuck you, dude, to being yo, go get vaxxed type. You know what I mean? Joining the fucking propaganda, the machine, dude. That broke my heart. And then the affiliations with Epstein Island, dude, is
Has he responded to the game at all?
No. He probably won't.
Huh. That's wild.
Yeah. I like the game's disc for sure.
It was alright.
But it could have been better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're talking about Eminem.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just weird. It's almost like it's his turn to be the GOAT. The whole industry worships him right now.
Who's that?
Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Even Benzino came out and was like, "Oh, dude, it's time. It's time to give Shady his props." You know what I mean? Shut up.
Benzino just didn't want no more backlash. Ruin the rest of his life.
But this is where it gets weird, though, is in this music industry and in Hollywood, it's these people get so much power and fame. And even Kanye had a stretch of time where he was felt like he was programmed. He was dude, I got to break through this.
Didn't Eminem basically stay in his house for a year doing pills and eating and blew up and shit?
I just read that shit.
And he didn't come out of his house forever after Proof was killed, I think.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, just read that.
Sense. Yeah, double XL, yeah.
So he was super depressed, I just remember, and that's when he disappeared for a while.
Is that before he started his sobriety, or did he break his sobriety for that?
I guess I just remember way back hearing, and it was the kind of rumors, but
Proof got shot in the head in a club.
They're Eminem's basically holed up in his house, just doing pills and getting takeout and shit all the time, and he blew up in weight and all kinds of stuff, and that's when he didn't want anybody to see him. And
he said that he was on a fucking episode of what is it, The Basement or whatever it was. Remember?
BET.
And he was so fucked up that he said that he was talking to the interviewer and he couldn't understand what she was saying. So 50 had to 50 was answering all the questions for him.
Yikes.
But that was he was saying that was his low point, and that's he started he's fuck, I gotta get better.
Sure.
But I just don't. Point of the matter is, I felt like he joined the machine.
Yeah, sure.
I got into that brainwash shit. Or not the brainwash shit, or saying I gotta start brainwashing these motherfuckers. So, but that's why, like, I was talking about Kanye in the music industry, because Kanye was, like, super outspoken about the shit at a certain point. Like, even on his episode with Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys ever watched it.
That's excellent.
It's super. He's like, yo, I just had people, like, handing me these pills and being like, yo, take these. You're tripping out. You know what I mean? And he's like, nah, man, I feel like a fucking zombie on these things. So they just keep dumbing them down. And these are people around him, the people he trusts.
Yep.
So, and then the Joel Osteen thing.
So he was on Osteen, like, literally calling him out and talking about how they, like, prey on children and shit, right?
Yeah.
Talking about Hollywood and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we could see if we can find the.
I remember watching it and seeing Osteen jump up and grab his cell phone out of his pocket and, like, immediately start texting with somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was saying, he's like, the whole crowd was, like, laughing at him while he was saying it like it was a joke. And he's like, nah, y'all can Google that.
He knows how to use the media, and he definitely knows how to use it against him.
Who's that? Yay?
Yeah, to take over platforms and be able to get a message out that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do not own this clip.
In my lowest points, God was there with me and sending me visions and inspiring me. And I remember sitting in the hospital at UCLA after having a mental breakdown, and there's documentations of me drawing a church and writing start a church in the middle of Calabasas. And even after that, I went and made the Life of Pablo album. I said, this is a gospel album. And I didn't know how to totally make a gospel album. And the Christians that were around were too, I would say, beaten into submission by society and not speak up and profess the gospel to me, because I was a superstar. So, but the only superstar is Jesus. So as I sat there saying, I'm going to make a gospel album, there were Christians that were there that were not. Excuse me, brother. I go into these streams of consciousness when I'm talking, and when you speak it in the middle of it, it distracts me. I really appreciate the support, but I would like for everybody to be completely silent so I can let God flow through me as I speak to you guys today.
Fucking yay.
No.
You want me to keep it rocking?
Well, yeah, we haven't heard the part.
So, in the studio, it's going to compare to places that you're in life where people tell you to quiet your voice and not talk about Jesus, so loud. But everything else is so loud around us. When I'm in California, when I'm in Vegas, they got posters up advertising, sex trafficking. Because if there's an advertisement for a strip club, that is advertising sex trafficking. Because at the end of the night, when they close up, the manager says, how much traffic do we have? So if it's a man that's going through things with his family or going through things at work and he feels he has to go there, we all end up participating, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol they call it a spirit. So we get constant advertisement for spirits. We get constant advertisement for strip clubs and other things like that. But then we bring up the name of Jesus, we're told to be quiet that down. So even for someone who's professing God and saying, this is going to be a gospel album, the devil's going to come and do everything he can to distract people from knowing how to fully be in service to the Lord. And all of that arrogance and confidence and cockiness that y'all see me use before God is now using for him.
You got the whole speech.
Yeah, but I haven't heard the part about the Hollywood shit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's in there.
That I'm standing up.
It's only like 15 seconds.
In the sand and saying,
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, that wasn't. When you find it, let me know. But I know there's a exact part
he
where
basically said that social media and Hollywood and the entertainment industry are raising your kids, basically, and controlling what they think. And
it's not really hard to believe. You know, it's I just see my 10-year-old with her TikTok, and I gotta regulate that shit. Because otherwise, it's constant. It's will not put the phone down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to the bathroom? All right. Gotta stay on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know.
It's crazy.
But he did say it, and it's not even just that. There is a lot of propaganda and a lot of shit and a lot of money. Sex sells, violence sells.
Yeah.
How about all this gun control shit? But Hollywood is like one of the biggest contributors to gun violence. I don't want to say contributors. But they're always shooting the bad guy. You're shooting the bad guy with the biggest gun, the baddest gun. You're fucking,
every movie,
vigilante movies, and
right. You got Deadpool. You got just stupid
John Wick movies. I've never seen them, but I know those are pretty much just all shooting movies. Mm-hmm. I remember reading an article about all this.
People
training.
Love seeing. I mean,
to be fair, they are awesome. But
I just know Keanu Reeves. I read somewhere that he went through all this crazy training.
He's like a real he can handle weapons
and stuff because it's just all shooting.
Yeah, it's just so insane, dude.
But it just desensitizes people, especially when you're young. By the time your freaking kids are 8 or 9 years old now, they've all seen someone die on TV or shot or die by violence, or sex,
someone cleaved,
crazy subliminal sexual messages all over the place, especially in cartoons, animation.
It's the worst in that, actually.
Yeah.
So why do you think these clowns, though, these actors or actresses or icons per se, come out and set in defense of these things like gun control or what was it? There was the Me Too movement. I'm not saying a lot of these aren't worthy movements, but James Franco, for example, right? This homie fucking rocking the Me Too shit at first. And then gets found out.
Me Too, right?
And then, he was the one out there Me Tooing.
Yeah.
He was the one fucking making chicks fucking do shit to get into movies. When Seth Rogen ain't gonna fucking work with you ever again, bro.
And you were best friends before that. Literally, they were best friends. They were hanging out doing every movie together. They were hanging out outside of movies. And
but he was an outspoken critic. And then somebody was like, dude, fuck, you're the guy. You're one of the guys.
Yeah.
Harvey. You know what I mean? Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
But it's just bananas to me.
They all got fucked up dicks too. So it's every story, Harvey Weinstein's or Epstein's was supposedly an egg or some weird shit. Harvey Weinstein was supposedly.
How do you know this?
Because it all came the chick testified. It's in the court. And in the documentary on Netflix, when the detective's interviewing him for the first thing, they ask him do you have an egg-shaped penis or some shit? And that's when he gets mad and almost walks out. And then there was testified that Harvey Weinstein I don't know if he had no dick or something. I don't know. That's just the term they use. And then Harvey Weinstein, he some of the women were saying basically he was a eunuch, they didn't even know if he had a dick.
Shut up.
Yeah, and then who's the other guy from Fox?
So he's just the sick fuck?
The one chick, the guy from Fox, Roger Ailes. She said he said he had a hamburger dick. Whatever the fuck
does that mean?
So his dick looked like hamburger meat. I don't know.
Oh.
That's one of those dudes that goes into the strip club, right? That's one of those dudes just yo, just fuck, I'm going to lay on the ground, take your high heels, and step on my dick.
Yeah, stomp my nuts.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, man. It's they all got that shit in common, too.
But is it one of those things where these people, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, once said it. He was you get so high so fast. So, chicks, drugs, fucking, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. Eventually, none of that shit works anymore.
Right.
And they start to go low to get the rocks off. Is it a case of, that shit? Or
well, I mean, if you look into, the mind control stuff and MK Ultra and all that, and people who claim they've suffered from it, they all talk about mutation of their genitalia and stuff like that, or even look at Nexium. Is that what they were? Nexium that was around here. That dude was
still is here.
That dude was branding women's vaginas with his initials. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Jesus.
That's definitely a thing when it comes to like mind control and cults and controlling people and all of that. So
branding,
who knows? I mean,
genitalia.
Yeah, they came up with a brand. That Kenneth Rainier, I believe his name is.
Keith Rainier.
Keith Rainier, yeah.
Cults, bro. Listen, I want to do an entire episode on cults. Like, this shit is fascinating, and like how a lot of these people like are really like
people are in everybody's under a mass psychosis and in the cult right now. Like pretty much, whether they're like they're in the blue cult or the red cult.
That's the Matrix. Yeah. Oh well, that shit's bananas.
Yeah, the Democrats and the Republican cults.
Well, then you also had what was Reverend Jim Jones there? He was that was a whole cult. There's been some crazy cults throughout history.
Jonestown, man.
Yeah.
No, there's been a lot of them, dude. And there's like, obviously
Waco.
The Waco shit. There was what was it? Not Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge was just he was up there by Randy Weaver. Yeah. Wife and baby got shot.
Yeah, that shit's insane. No, there's a lot though. It was the one. There was Heaven's Gate. That fucking they were all in a Nike jumpsuits.
All committed suicide.
That,
yeah. And the spaceship was showing up with Halley's Comet.
Yeah, the Hale Bop or the Haley's or HBO, I think it was, just did a documentary in the last year or two on Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, check that out.
Really? You haven't seen that shit? Oh, dude, there's so many good ones. No. Jonestown is like...
I've seen that. That's crazy. The footage from there is disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they went wild. They killed
900,
they killed the senator, right?
They killed some type of representative from California. Congressman.
I think it was a congressman, right? I think you're right.
They made the kids drink first so that the parents wouldn't want to live.
Dude, what do you mean? They signed over all the rights to their kids, bro. Nobody when everybody, like the very few people that actually got out, like had to leave their children behind because they had signed over custody to this fucking dude. It like the psychosis you're talking about, Chab, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
because how do you get to a point where it's like you're just all right? You know what? Yeah, this dude's gonna fuck all the kids, all the wives, and then like the men are just gonna be militant soldiers.
Well, I mean, Leah Remini was part of Scientology, and she got out of it, right?
Listen, old Tommy fucking Cruise is kind of distancing himself right now. Yeah, big time, bro, because of the Danny Masterson shit.
What's
Danny Masterson?
Hide from that 70s show. He was in the ranch. With
he got like raped, convicted of rape charges.
A couple times, couple different women.
Yeah. Well.
Did he get convicted?
I don't know. Yeah, in one case he did, and then it got like I believe it got pushed down where it was trying to be like dismissed.
Well, they were trying to keep it in the church. They were like they were fighting, dude. They were like making motions. The Church of Scientology was making motions to be like, no, this is in house. Like we got to do this,
right? Yeah, and they were trying to
like, what do you mean we're in a real court?
They were worried. They were worried a lot of like inside stuff about Scientology would have to be talked about under testimony.
Let's see.
So they were really freaking out. The church was.
I mean, but really, how much power should they have over stuff like that anyway? If it needs to be talked about.
What's her name? Remini said that she started to question it when she realized that David Miscavige's wife was missing and no one knew where she was and had seen her since like, whose was it? It was like since Tom Cruise's wedding or something. I think it was like the last time she's been seen anywhere in public or
ever.
So they don't know where the fuck she is.
She literally could be dead.
Well, no. So like,
probably out on one of those boats they have, or up in that.
I don't know about today's
prison
day.
compound type shit they have.
Well, that's what they have though. They have some sort of ranch out in the sticks, but like somewhere in
Northern California.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
There's
Is it where that big symbol is?
There's that's the Celebrity Center in L.A. This is way up in like the mountain.
That's L. Ron Hubbard Way, bro.
No,
that's way
I'm
up
talking
in
the big, like it's in the rocks. It's like a big ass. I don't know if it's like a number 8 or something like that. It's like
the place that they use supposedly for like disciplinary stuff's in Northern California somewhere, I believe, and it just looks like in a big estate or compound or something like that.
See, this one is hidden,
discreet, but they have fences all the way around it that have like the sharp ends of the top of the fence pointing out so no one can climb in or out. And then they have cameras and floodlight, motion lights.
She said she was writing letters, though, right, to like the FBI and all kinds of other shit to find out if they could find a well-being check.
Yeah, she did a wellness check, tried to file missing persons, I believe.
Yeah, and eventually, I think she did do something, whether it be write a letter, you know what I mean, like, or I don't fucking know what happened, but it was like it satisfied the FBI. Like,
yeah, the police, the LAPD, I believe, went and like interviewed him or went to try to find her, but they didn't actually see her, from what I remember hearing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bro.
I've watched a bunch of the Scientology documentaries and interviews and all that stuff. I don't know why I've always been interested in it. There's a real good one.
I love it, dude.
The one that HBO did was
so
really
good. It's so good.
Yeah, the HBO one's really good. And then
that looks like the infinity symbol to me.
Yeah, it's a Scientology compound in the middle of the desert, and that's like the only symbol that shows that they're there.
There's another really good one that I like. This dude from the UK, Louis Theroux. He did a really good Scientology documentary. Oh, really? He did a really good one he did 2 good ones on Jimmy Savile too.
I read I've always been interested in cults from way back, but at the same time, like, I read Leah Remini's book, and it's a little tiny book. It ain't like nothing huge. I think I finished it in like a day or so, and there's some fucked up shit going on in there, some wild shit.
Yeah, they definitely splinter the family. They do all that. All those mind control techniques.
Well, she grew up in it too because her mom, her parents were like they had moved or whatever. Like they had fucking like she was in the Bronx or some shit, and then it like took her to fucking Clearwater or some shit down there.
Yeah, Clearwater's wild, man.
That's where my dad was living.
I've been there a couple times, and yeah, that's the Scientology capital of the world, and the Scientology center there is just.
That's insane to me.
Enormous. And they own so much land in Clearwater. You go down these streets and it's all these like shops that are, like city shops that are window to window, door to door. And each building's painted like a different bright color and it looks like they're businesses. But when you really look at the place, you see it's not. It's just they own it and it's empty, but they own it because they're buying up everything.
Huh. Well, when I was in LA, bro, it was the wildest shit because there really is a place called L. Ron Hubbard Way.
Yeah.
And
there is there in Clearwater, too.
It looks like a little city within LA. So it's like not super huge, but it's like a couple
all
blocks.
The buildings are clean and nice looking and painted up. And
they're all blue. And not only that, I'll have to break out the pictures again and like put them on the Facebook and shit because the way that they had that shit set up was like a little compound. And they had security walking around the entire place. So when you like stopped or tried to take pictures and shit, they would like run down on you like, yo, you gotta fucking skate.
You'll get followed around.
Yeah,
trying to take too many pictures and shit. Because I was walking around and I immediately could tell people were like, yeah, because I mean I was just taking pictures because the center's monstrous down in Clearwater.
I've never seen that one.
It's their capital. Yeah, they literally. I don't know. I saw the statistic before, but they own so much of.
Well, wasn't the idea that they would like? Isn't there like a boat or something? Like, isn't there like a
they have
cruise
like a big
or some
ship.
Shit?
They have a big ship. I don't know if they still.
That's
have it,
where you're supposed to make it too.
The Sea
like
Org. Those are like the highest ones.
Yeah,
the sea orgs.
When you pay so much cash that you're like the most enlightened.
I think that started because there were arrest warrants for L. Ron Hubbard, so they had the ship. And they would go out to sea and stuff like that.
Because they thought he was in international waters.
And he would go to other countries and ports where they weren't going to extradite him or arrest him. But, yeah, he was like a big follower of... Yeah, he was a big follower of Aleister Crowley. And I don't know if they actually knew each other, but... Yeah, he was.
But he's a science fiction writer.
Yeah, he wrote... I believe...
Terrible.
I believe he is the most published author in the history of authors.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't. You could probably look that up easily enough, but yeah, I think he did like over 400 and something science fiction books alone before even coming up with Scientology.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm almost positive he's the most published author.
So
ever.
Do you think?
Like, does he have anything famous?
No. No, not really.
I mean, he's got to have a couple hundred books, Scientology books, if not more.
Right.
Like it's insane.
I'm gonna look them up real quick.
You see in some of those documentaries, people go into like these rooms and they'll have the whole room will be books with Scientology books written by Hubbard.
All around. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, it was baffling to me, like just how big the shit was.
Yeah, but I was always interested in that. And
so was an American author, primarily of science fiction and fantasy stories, who was best known for having founded the Church of Scientology. In 1950, Hubbard authored Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health, and established a new series of organizations to promote Dianetics. In 1952, Hubbard lost the rights to Dianetics in bankruptcy proceedings, and he subsequently founded Scientology. Thereafter, Hubbard oversaw the growth of the Church of Scientology into a worldwide organization.
Huh.
But so, what do you think? Why do you think these people believe in this shit? Like,
probably the promise of something better.
Yeah, people want to.
But you got to promise me a lot.
And you, but
and kind of put out.
Some people are so naive, though. You know,
I'm not trying to go strap my hands to a certain what is it a fucking?
But yeah, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollar business, and I mean they can't all be naive and dumb.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you have lawyers, you have people from all walks of life that are in Scientology and very active, and
you got people willing to follow people around and scare them.
Yeah, that in like Clearwater, there would outside of the center, it was just non-stop buses stopping, and like you'd see these look like late teenagers, early 20s, but
like missionaries.
Basically like missionaries. Yeah, but they don't go out really and proselytize. I don't think. I remember years ago in like my early 20s, I was like had a roommate. We were. Got into all this like comparative religion type shit, and it's kind of fun. Lived with them for like 2 years, and we went to like some Bible studies, and we have these Mormons over all the time. But what was it? I lost my train of thought about L. Ron. Yeah,
the fuck was that though? Like how was that?
Oh, it was hanging out with the Mormons. Oh, where I was going with it was, so at that time there is a small Scientology center in Albany, and I called up to try to get a reading and tell the guy I was interested in. Like, I thought I was being open about it, and I wanted to go. I wasn't like trying to fuck with him, but within like 3 minutes, he didn't even want me to show up or be on the phone anymore.
Sure. Well,
I was like, okay.
You probably talk to so many people though that like
Right.
You know, like who you're kind of dealing with. Like,
I was genuine. I was super interested to see what he would say. I mean, you just sit down and hold those two cylinders. So, I would have gone there for a half hour and done it. And
the first time I went down Hollywood Boulevard, bro, we saw there's a big giant one on Hollywood Boulevard.
That's the Celebrity Center, the one with the big cross, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't Raph gone in for a reading?
Somebody did.
Or no, Irv. Wasn't it Irv?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, listen, look. Again,
I wanted to, but they were just so skeptical. I'm not
trying to take away someone's honest belief or not belief. It's an honest interest in these organizations. Sure. You know what I mean? And for someone like Irv, if he would approach that, like he would have approached that in a manner of like, I'm really here to like,
I think that's why. Yeah, I think that he wanted to genuinely see what was going on so that he can consider it.
I'll have to ask him again. I can't remember.
I think it was Irv that told me that. But I remember being at the shop one day, and I don't know, maybe Tommy Seymour was with me. But I actually called Bohemian Grove.
Yeah,
did you? How'd that go?
Someone picked up. It was like a hello.
Well, they have an office, I believe.
Yeah, dude.
The Bohemian Club has an office in San Francisco, and the Grove is where they go to the
I asked about the Stone Owl and got hung up on.
The Bohemian Club is what they're all members of, and that headquarters is in San Francisco. But
I'm fairly certain that's what I called.
The Bohemian Grove, where the members of the club go, is northern, like up in the Redwoods. I think might even be like a couple 100 miles away. So that's why they all fly into those small towns.
What's that, like Northern Cali?
Yeah, so it's like maybe 200 miles. I don't remember exactly. 50 miles.
Where it was.
It's north of San Francisco.
Monte Rio, California.
That's
Club.
Way up.
Yeah.
Bohemian Grove Workers Club, they call it, in Sonoma County.
Yeah, you're way up. Because I went to see the sequoias.
Yeah, you can call them.
Nah. Well, yeah, of course, it's business. It's still a business. If you're a fucking super high-profile pedophile, you can call.
It's a restricted 2,700-acre compound at 2601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio. Annual attendance about 2,500.
Well, yeah, sure.
So, I mean, I'm sure that's all in one or two
big
gatherings.
Think about it like this with the Bilderberg groups and the the Trilateral Commissions. It's only a group of dudes.
Yeah, this is a gentleman's club, it says.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you want to go in there and get weird? Tap some feet under the stall.
And then it says people also search Burning Man, Bohemian Highway, and Skull and Bones.
Well, yeah, it's all conspiracy shit. I don't know about Burning
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I know.
What Richard Nixon's quote was, but I think he said, "quote It was the faggiest 2 weeks of my life." End quote.
Is that what he said?
What?
Richard Nixon about going to Bohemian Grove. He was asked if he had ever been there, and then Bill Clinton was asked about it before too, and he said something like, "I don't run around naked in the woods with the Republicans" or something like that, because it's predominantly Republican. Traditionally, it was. I don't know how it is anymore, but
really,
it was always predominantly Republican.
I thought it was just like the who's who.
No, it's mostly a Republican thing.
What about Branch Davidians? They come up also.
That's David Koresh. That's Waco.
That was Waco.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the Grove. I mean, there's in find it anywhere. But there's a picture of when Reagan was still an actor. I don't even think Nixon was elected to any office yet. Obviously, not even close to being president. And then Glenn Seaborg, who I think invented the atomic bomb, and it's the three of them sitting next to each other at a table at Bohemian Grove, like years before any of them had really done anything. Reagan was an actor, Seaborg was a scientist, and Nixon was an aspiring politician. But they're all hanging out at the Grove, getting groomed.
Hanging out. Well, I mean, yeah, you got to think if you're a machine that's got these people coming through it, you're handpicking them. That's the only reason this douchebag that's in office right now is there. You know what I mean?
They're all selected, no matter who it is.
Oh, no question.
And the agenda still goes on. But wars that we forget about, people are still getting the shit bombed out of them.
Yeah, what's going on in Ukraine? That's been out of the news cycle lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Ain't heard nothing about Ukraine.
I did read something the other day, but
yeah, it's still there. It's just not front page. You know? Still in the cycle though.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's all a process. It's really the media just fucking with everybody.
Yeah, a lot of what's in the media right now is the January 6th stuff.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. Anytime I flip past the news station, it's all the January 6th stuff.
What I did see was that there was allegedly an uptick in UFO sightings in Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw that headline too.
You know,
I don't know if you posted it.
Yeah, I did.
I'll say,
definitely.
I saw it somewhere.
I definitely posted it, but that was allegedly somebody over there was reporting like a couple hundred of them a day, like of shit that there was shit that they could identify, and then they were like, "Yo, there's some shit happening here that."
I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me because it's become so much more of a. It just seems like there's been such an uptick in the last maybe 5 years of sightings on camera. You know what I mean?
Well, so there's two ways to go about this, right? There's one, these are real, actual aliens or extraterrestrials, visitors from different dimensions,
or
such and such and such.
They're allowing us to see more of their shit so that we think that they're aliens.
Or this is a staged extraterrestrial invasion.
Yep.
And they're ramping up the sightings because, let's be real here, since 1948, it's like... It's more believable to start ramping them up, and then you got all these credible dudes coming out, and I'm just trying to be like careful of the fast one they're pulling. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. Well, you're talking about Blue Book, what? Right? That started
No, I'm talking about just in general. Like,
I know,
this
but
is like a fake program that they're just like. Think about COVID being a scare.
Yeah, they're staging an invasion to keep us in line so they can. Oh well, we have the only way to be able to keep them from hurting you.
Well,
we've made contact with them, but you need to give us all your rights. Essentially, in the end, is what it's going to be. We want to control you to keep you safe,
or for the violating the contracts that we set up with them.
Right? You know.
Yeah, but they're not going to tell us that.
No.
Well, no.
They're going to tell us it's to keep us safe.
Controlled, all the information.
Well, let's be real. If they're like, we violated a contract, bro, like, then if these things are for real, extraterrestrials, like, I'm pretty sure they got us by the balls.
I mean, how could we know if they don't? We would have no clue. They could be, other than the fact that they're advanced enough to get here, they could literally have nothing else on us, but we wouldn't know. So right now, we're always going to be at the disadvantage.
What was that?
What would Alex Jones say?
Well,
what was that shit he said on Rogan? Where he's like, they're already here. They're interdimensional beings. They've been here.
Yes, yeah.
It's true though. That's right. The lizard people. That's whatever you want to call them. They're one of them.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing is we don't know exactly how many. We can't see.
But throughout history, I mean, most civilizations have
early
lore, and not even lore, like stories about, hey, yeah, these people came from this star system. Mm-hmm. These people came from Sirius. These people came from here.
Yeah.
I mean, it
wasn't a doggone tribe.
Yeah, it wasn't just like science fiction or folklore. It was, they told us stories like that's what happened.
Anunnaki too, right?
The Sumerians. Yeah. He was the Zulu shaman.
Yeah, that's the one David Icke, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he did a whole book on him.
David Icke.
The Children of the Matrix. That's pretty much.
Listen, that one was so good.
That's the one that's pretty much got like all.
Yeah, you sent that to me when I was on vacay.
Yeah, that one's got a lot of the information from Credo.
Yeah,
but it's good.
No, they're all good, dude. What was that other one? The Tales from the Time Loop.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
That one's so.
That one came out not long after 9/11, like within a year, I think. So he kind of wraps up everything in there.
That Gods of Eden shit too. It was like I want to start like a book review podcast where you just like we read a book. Like
that'd be cool. Yeah,
one of those and just review that shit. Like
I got Prue. He's still like gets so upset if you bring up the no plane stuff to him.
Yeah, that's funny.
So shit. I listened to the 9/11 podcast back and all the stuff Bruce was saying. And
how did it sound? Did it sound good?
It was good. The only thing was Bruce was a mile away from the microphone most of the time, so you had to like adjust to hear him.
Oh yeah.
I had listened to it before, and I knew he was doing it all that night just because which is surprising because the guy was on the radio, like a radio DJ, and a DJ his whole life for like over 50 years. So you'd think he would be by the microphone, but
yeah, I mean,
no, he was hyped up. But anyway, like I had always thought that I'm like, I don't even know if there were planes.
Is that
was it lasers? Was it what?
I have to go back and listen to it because I remember
he convinced me. I remember that night. I'm like, you convinced me, man. Like. Because we already know that there weren't planes at the other two places, Shanksville or the Pentagon. So you're right. He's calling that shit the Wile. He's like, it left a Wile E. Coyote hole on the side of the skyscraper. He goes. It entered the building Casper the Ghost style and left a Wile E. Coyote style hole.
No, listen, you got to see what's up with
wings and everything just perfectly.
You got to see what's up with him and see what's good. We got to get him back on for another topic. I really like doing episodes like that where we pick one topic.
That one should have been 2 because like the first hour was all JFK.
Yeah,
a little bit more, hour or more, and then. But when it comes to JFK, like you could do 10 shows with him. Yeah, days of JFK. He's like his library has always been impressive, and he's read everything he can find on JFK, and You heard him. He's like, November, blah, blah, blah. And I remember sitting there in the blah, blah, blah newspaper and reading this article. And,
it was so cool written by that dude's perspective.
Yeah, and he just...
being a kid and being like, JFK just got shot.
He retains information.
You don't even look that old either.
No, I know,
he doesn't.
He just
shout out to brother Bruce, man.
Yeah, he can retain everything.
Yeah, no, he was cool as fuck too, and it was so cool just having his perspective and being like, yeah, because obviously people that like have been on this shit long before us, it's like they're the OG, like that's the original gangster. Like
I go off
$1 million worth of game type shit.
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah, it's like that's why you gotta talk to your elders, because there's so many people out there like that, and we don't do it anymore. We don't have the interactions with people, and
they're almost gone, dude.
Yeah, and
they're almost gone. We're
gonna be those people. We're gonna be at that age, and we're not gonna have shit to leave behind.
True.
Besides, hey, go Google it.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell you how, that's not somebody who really participated. That's somebody writing about it.
There's no real knowledge there. It's just information.
And he got to grow up through it too, so it was like he got to see it as it developed. And
the best was I had like this, I'm like asking him, have all these questions, and I'm saying all this shit to him, like giving him these scenarios of how it could have happened. And after I spit all this shit out, he just looks at me and goes, "Wouldn't happen because there weren't any planes."
Bro, yeah, I felt kind of dumbfounded, I think, in a moment, because I'm like, the fuck you mean there's no planes, dude?
Yeah, explain this.
Prue was fucked up too, because Prue's like,
oh, he won't even humor it. He won't even humor that there weren't planes. He's like, I know people that were there, and this. I'm like, all right, man.
Who said that, Prue?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I remember when it happened. Like we all remember when it happened. We all know somebody who was there, or somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Like we all lived here, and. Yeah.
No planes.
He won't entertain it.
So, what is the idea that there are no planes? I don't understand how. Okay, so if that's the case, what did we see crashing into the buildings?
Probably some horrible CGI. If you look at it, I mean, look where we are in 2022. Well, with just what they can do with a green screen for movies and stuff. I mean, go back and look at those videos. Go back and look at those videos and tell me that doesn't look like something a 7th grader could do with a computer now or an iPad. And not even that. I'm just saying, like, that's the most obvious way if they were going to fake that.
Sure.
Would be some type of CGI, hologram technology for the people
first,
in the city.
You put out the first, even if you needed
But the buildings were obviously already wired, so if they were already wired, they could have wired the spot to blow out like that, and then you have the Wile E. Coyote hole. Right. With people looking out it and jumping out it and passports flying out it and all that.
Yeah, how fucking wild is that shit?
But it goes back to the Operation Northwoods, and he explained that far better than I ever can, so just go listen to that podcast. But it was literally like Operation Northwoods, where they had the 4 planes that were going to take off, separate airports, hijacked, they land the plane safely somewhere else. He breaks the whole thing down. They were only supposed to be this percent, this capacity. Same thing. They were. Yeah. So
insane, dude. It was.
They wouldn't use planes because it's impossible. Like the best pilots in the world couldn't do that. And then the science just behind it. They say that the planes hit the building at like 470 to 500 miles per hour, something like that. And they hit the building at like 900 feet. Those buildings were like 1,200 feet tall. So when they hit them, like 900 feet. A plane would rip apart if it was flying almost 500 miles an hour at that low altitude. They can't fly that fast until they're at high altitude, like 25, 30,000 feet.
Right.
That's why when they get lower, they're down to like 200 and something miles per hour. And not only that, I mean, they went into that building perfectly horizontal to the ground and clean. And I mean, that's hard to do and impossible at those speeds.
Well, next time Prue's feeling frisky and he wants to come on and argue it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because Bruce made some good points, dude. Like, he made some really good fucking points, and I'm like,
Look, I believe that 9/11 there was fishy shit around it, but I mean, I definitely believe that there were planes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just think it's impossible.
I mean, hey,
it's hard for me.
You didn't even have a bit. You don't even have a bit. You don't even have a
since I was a child.
Kenny, how did you feel that day?
But you don't even have a piece of
terrible, right? So now here's the thing: is that's what you've carried on with you.
You go on with that emotion first
since then, and it's like, and not only that, dude. Let's be real. Like right after that was like it was America was almost pushing racism upon people from Middle Eastern countries. Yep. You know what I mean? So, let's be real. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It wasn't fucking safe in New York City for Middle Easterners, it wasn't. You know? So it's just kind of odd too that like it was all kind of designed, you know, to go that way.
Alibaba and his 17 happy terrorists flying planes.
Yeah, I mean that's how it was portrayed to us. Yeah,
but think about it. Like, there's a huge giant explosion. Nobody's expecting it.
You don't see
the Pentagon. I could see there was no way that a plane could have made that hole.
You don't see a single piece of airplane hanging out of that building anywhere. So it just clearly went into the building
and melted,
and just like
vaporized.
None of the tail was hanging out, and the nose wasn't out the other side. The wings didn't get ripped off when it hit the building. They just went perfectly in, leaving a Wile E. Coyote hole. And you don't have a piece of plane. I mean, yeah, of course they found like engines and stuff like that after, but who can't fucking put some of that stuff there? They didn't find the black boxes.
Didn't they say that the beams that were melted could only been melted with thermite?
Yeah, they found nanothermite and what's the other one? Thermate and thermite.
And they're the only.
They found them all over the place.
They're only found present in remote detonation or something like that. Like construction, demolition.
I'm not entirely sure.
The fire burned until I think like December. They didn't officially put the fire out. It was still smoldering until like December. So like a few months. Maybe not all the way to December, but it was a couple months, maybe even into December.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, you know, that's the official narrative. Mm. There was a whole commission that sanctioned it, or not sanctioned the attack. But what I'm saying is they stamped it and fucking co-signed it.
Plus
this is what it was.
They had the war games going on that day. Coincidentally, the same day they had a hijacking scenario that they were doing a practice on, and there's even the one tape of the air traffic controller saying, "Is it something like, is this real time or the games?" Because they were having war games going on, so that way also you're confusing everybody, and jets aren't being scrambled like they usually would, and all of it was just fishy.
Yeah, I mean, look,
well, Tower 7,
that
collapsing in its own footprint, fucking 6 blocks away was pretty odd.
Yeah,
I mean that's just the rumble. You know, the rumble from the fucking collision.
All the damage.
I mean, it literally collapsed in its own footprint. It would have had to have fallen free fall for like 6 stories at least or something.
Yeah, all 3 of them look like controlled demolition, and they were.
That's wild.
I mean, think about it like this: you got a perfect plot. You know, like you got like nothing really was damaged other than that other building,
right? And like Bruce was saying, obviously we all know that Silverstein took out like a crazy insurance policy on it. But the stuff he was bringing up that I didn't realize were, he kept saying, he's like, these buildings were dinosaurs. They never shouldn't have even been built in Manhattan. They were just built, he said they were dinosaurs. They were like, I don't remember. He said like 30 something of the floors in the middle were just totally vacant. They couldn't rent it out. He was explaining how it was just such a horrible place from the beginning. People didn't want the buildings built. He remembered it because there's nowhere to park. You can't park, and there's not enough parking at the building for the whole building. Floors. And then there's nowhere else to park in Manhattan. And so he just a whole bunch of things. And he was like, it was convenient and helpful to get rid of the buildings too.
Sure.
There's no. He's like they were dinosaurs in the skyline.
And not only that, but he was saying that he got first right to build too, right?
Yeah, and something like that too. And I believe he was saying that if
I'm pretty sure in his insurance policy, it was
if it was an act of terrorism,
he got paid out
even more.
And then he had first right to build there. Like, so whatever. And now think about it. I don't know if it costs money to get to see anything down there for that thing, but
he conveniently didn't show up to work that day.
Yeah, right. I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah.
Dude,
supposedly
imagine
had
being
some eye
a
appointment or some shit.
Imagine doing it, like having that scheme, dude, and you know it's going to happen, bro, and fucking, like, how you sleep that night. Like,
you just...
Well, they're megalomaniacs. They're just psychos anyway, so it's like they're doing this ritual. They get off on it. They're, like, sick. It's their blood.
Like, yo, we just blew up 2 towers.
Yeah, I mean, how could you be the guy that goes to sleep at night knowing that you're responsible for a drone bombing program that's killing children, killing all these people, and you can just, I mean,
close your eyes at night and sleep like a baby.
It's insane.
America.
But they're doing it. It's literally like it's a blood ritual on a mass scale. It's the shit they do on a small scale, like the Abramovich type stuff we talk about, or the stuff allegedly that happens at Bohemian Grove, the snuff films, and Hunter S. Thompson talking about filming snuff films there, and or allegedly he didn't talk about it, but he there was this letter I saw.
How true do you think that is, though?
I believe it because it was testified by that John Bonacci from the whole Franklin scandal, where in Boys Town, where they were being sex trafficked, all the kids from the group homes. So he testified to it, and I mean, he was testifying against major people. He was the head of the major paper in Omaha.
What was he testifying to?
You never heard
about the
Franklin scandal?
Child sex trafficking throughout the United States. He was being sent. He was working for this guy Larry King.
He was a politician.
Well, no. The guy who wrote the book.
But who did he expose that you were just saying?
Oh, well, he said that he described going to Bohemian Grove. He didn't know where it was. He just told he was flown somewhere and blah, blah, blah. But he was talking about how he was forced to kill another kid in a snuff film. And the guy he described who was doing it was allegedly Hunter S. Thompson. And there is a note I've seen. I don't know if it's real 100% or not, but it says something that Hunter S. Thompson wrote on a paper to somebody, big red marker in his writing, something about Jack Nicholson. But he said, like, the only snuff film I've ever seen was something with Jack Nicholson, something along those lines, where it was talking about Jack Nicholson in a snuff film.
Well, there was like, what was it? Jack Nicholson had some shit happen back then too. Who was it?
Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski. Yeah, he like raped a 12-year-old girl.
Drugged her too.
Well, whose house was it though?
Doesn't he live in like France or something now?
Roman Polanski.
It wasn't De Niro, was it?
It wasn't somebody like that's house, but Polanski was also the one who was married to Sharon Tate, who was the victim of the Manson murders.
Yep.
Yeah. But
yeah, Polanski, it did happen, you're right, in someone's house. It might have been Jack Nicholson's house.
It might have been Nicholson, right?
I think it is.
Because I can't wait to get the Googling going, because I get all that information like kind of in the database, bro. Because that shit is crazy. Like, you have like Roman Polanski, fucking kids.
Yeah, he's drugged her. Isn't he still making movies from?
Yeah, he won
over there.
He won an Oscar or something.
Some shit.
Yeah, he won an Oscar for one of his movies. It was controversial when he did it. It might have even been 10 or more years ago. I don't know, but I know he won another Oscar or something.
Yeah, while he was on the lam.
Yeah, right? He can't ever come back. I think he was convicted, so if he comes back, he automatically goes to jail, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to look because I'm almost positive he's a fugitive.
I'm trying to find that damn letter.
You should. That's cool. I had Operation Legacy up because that was cool. Just fuck the Queen and the Monarchy.
So he said, the only snuff film I know anything about is the one I did a long time ago with Jack Nicholson and Bob Rattleson, but I can't talk about it until 1995. Sorry. Stay away from this subject. They'll kill you. Good luck. HST.
So now explain to everybody what a snuff film is.
Basically, where you really kill somebody. You know, some of them are just literally videos of people being murdered, but some of them, I guess, are like
participating.
Actual, you know, they try to make it like a little movie or something like that, but they really kill the person, and it's like a horror film, but they actually kill them.
In 2003, he got an Oscar for Best Director in The Pianist.
Yeah, yep, you're exactly right.
All right, so now check to see, is he a fugitive?
It's not saying anything about that.
I'm almost positive.
Rosemary's Baby, he did.
That's why he's...
So punch that into Google, like
he's in
Roman
France
Polanski,
because they won't extradite.
Right.
So.
Is it charges or was he convicted?
Pretty sure he was convicted.
Polanski, 88, who won a Best Director Oscar for Pianist in 2003, remains a fugitive after pleading guilty in 77 unlawful sex with a minor and fleeing the United States for France on the eve of sentencing the following year.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, he knew he was going to jail. He just didn't know how long, or prison, but he didn't know how long.
Yeah, that shit's off.
Court documents and Polanski criminal case ordered released, and that was recently.
Wow, that'll be cool if they actually release him. But this is the level of shit like that happens to like all of like most people's favorite actors.
Yeah, what was she, 14 or 12?
12. Bro, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, there's all that shit that happens in, what was it, Laurel Canyon?
Rape by use of drugs, perversion, sodomy, lewd and lascivious.
Lascivious.
Lewd
and lascivious.
No, LASC, lascivious act.
Lewd and lascivious. I can't even see where you're looking.
Down here.
Down here, right here. Where would it charges?
Lascivious. I was putting a D in instead of a V.
Lascivious, lascivious. Yeah,
Lewd and lascivious.
That's an odd looking word.
Yeah. No, but look, he's been
the only time I've ever heard it is with lewd, because I'm pretty sure that it's always called lewd and lascivious.
He won one in 2003. Right? That was his latest one. His latest win.
Yeah.
So
under Roman Polanski anyway.
Well,
he's probably out there making them under another name too.
I don't think
well, he's been making movies the whole time. That's just the first time that he's made one that won an Oscar, which is an American award, as far as American award and the biggest award in film. So it's like, this guy's a fugitive from the United States, and for that type of crime, you're really gonna honor him because he made a good movie.
Right. Here's your Oscar, bro.
Yeah,
you're super cool. No, fuck that.
We would absolutely love for you to come back.
Right.
Like that was scumbag. But it
should be banned from the Oscars.
Dude,
allowed to win.
Will Smith's banned for slapping Chris Rock.
But
they won't ban this dude for fucking raping a young girl.
But is he just banned from attending, or is he banned from winning an award?
I'm gonna look.
I doubt it, because
no, he's banned from being
nominated.
They canceled out his winnings.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, they canceled his Oscars out and everything.
Damn, dogs are violent or something.
Yeah, they want to be loved, man.
Right, what's going on over there, down there?
Oh man, I don't know how I got on the Holocaust. I clicked something. All right, so legal history. So let's see. Trying to figure out like where it happened, if it was Nicholson's or. I thought it was De Niro. Oh, wait, hold on.
I think it was Jack Nicholson.
I thought De Niro, too.
This took place on March 10th, 1977, at the home of the actor, none other than Jack Nicholson, in the Mulholland area of Los Angeles. When the crime was committed, Nicholson was allegedly
not there
on a ski trip in Colorado, and his living girlfriend, Angelica Huston, who was there, had left, but later returned while Polanski and Grimer were there. So,
yeah,
Nicholson. You know what I mean? Like, this shit like seems normal to these guys, right? Like, this shit is like normal.
Yeah. Woody Allen's been grooming a child that he had as his child, and now married to her.
Sick as fuck.
I think Errol Musk Elon's dad is married to his stepdaughter.
Something like that, yeah. Or had a child with her.
Yep.
At the very least, something like that. Yeah, that came out in the last couple of months.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, man. It's fucking disgusting.
You see the common thing, though. The common denominator is wealth and
fame,
royalty,
and,
fame. You know, like...
a certain level of elitism.
People get fucking weird, man.
Yeah. I like the Kathy O'Brien book, Transformation of America, with trans, like TRANCE. But she's an alleged MK mind control victim, and she tells her whole story, and it's just crazy that the stuff she put in there, and a lot of the people she talks about, and you know, some of them are like baseball players, like Nolan Ryan and Tommy Lasorda, and some people like that, Sparky Anderson, and she's talking about people all the way up to Bill Clinton. I just can't believe that this woman goes out on all these speaking tours, and her book's in like the 15th printing, and you know, like why hasn't one person, you know, like Boxcar Willie and these random old country people, and a guy who was a ventriloquist, I can't remember his name, traveling ventriloquist. So it's like somebody out there we would think would be like, okay, this woman's saying that I used to rape her 8-year-old daughter. I'm gonna get my name taken out of this book.
Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Sure.
There's no way they don't know that they're in that book.
But do you think if you do it, you give it credibility?
I don't give a fuck. If somebody had my name in the book saying that I'm
fighting to the death.
Oh, hell
yeah. I'm like, you're taking not only taking my name out of there, like I'm suing whatever I can possibly do. Like whatever I can possibly do, I'm clearing my name.
Sure.
Like, let alone, you know, a book that's in, like I said, like I think like the 15th, 16th printing. She goes out on speaking tours, and now with like all these like conspiracy cons and stuff like that they have.
I know, we got to get to one,
She speaks
bro.
at those. So I mean, it's well known what she's out there saying.
Fucking get to one.
It's crazy. I mean, and then a lot of stuff that she's not a lot, but there's things that she's written about in her book that there's like actually came true. She talks about like Virginia Tech and that area, how they do a lot of, I can't remember the town Virginia Tech's in, but remember there was a shooting at Virginia Tech in like the early 2000s, I think it was. She talks in her book about how they do all these kind of crazy mind control studies there. And,
well, it's like right near Langley, though.
Something crazy is going to happen in that town, because that town's like all... Yeah, so she was just... I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. She talks about some... Like, she said she was flown to Mexico, and she was with like one of the I don't know if it was the president of Mexico. I think it may have been at the time. But she was saying that he was telling her that like interdimensional beings basically rule the earth, that, you know, people in charge aren't human. The book's like not, she just mentions that like casually in there. She doesn't, you know what I mean? She doesn't say like she believes it. It's not any rant. It doesn't tie into anything. She just mentions it casually when she's talking about being on that trip. But, you know, she was talking about like Nolan Ryan and Tommy Lasorda. She was saying that they were like big time cocaine smugglers. And it's like, why Nolan Ryan and why Tommy Lasorda? And then you think, I mean, I'm like, well, Nolan Ryan always either played for like Southern California team or Texas teams, which by the border. And then, I mean, baseball players, you know, they were making
probably had the connection.
They were making like $1 million a year and stuff like that when he played, but not these crazy $100 million, $200 million contracts.
But weren't they heavy gamblers too?
Owns, or at least did own part or majority of the Texas Rangers. Like, how the hell did he have enough money to buy Nolan Ryan to buy a baseball team?
You're working with investors, but like not even just that, man. Like, so you're saying that like she said he was one of them, or he was under mind control?
No, she was saying that Nolan Ryan was a huge,
like he was an actual
cocaine smuggler.
Oh,
like a head of a cocaine smuggling operation, and Tommy Lasorda was. And I'll grab the book real quick, and I'll read a couple random things out of there just to show you how wild this is.
Yeah, because like that shit, like it doesn't really fucking surprise me, bro. Like, because there you go, get it in there, see if it'll focus. Oh yeah, we're shooting our first fucking video, gang. So, but yeah, it's. So she said she was a victim of mind control.
Oh yeah, she claims she was sold to Gerald Ford by her father was sold, yeah, to be
a victim of
what do they
sex
call
trafficking.
they call the highest highest female ones, presidential mind control model or whatever, presidential model. That's what she was. Supposedly she was programmed with like a photographic memory, so politicians would send her to other countries, like when she went to Mexico, to fuck other leaders and things like that, and basically they would do whatever they want, all this sadomasochistic shit to her. But she had a photographic memory, so she would be able to see like a document once and put it in her head, and then when she went back, they would trigger that, and she would recite everything she saw. So she was used like that, yeah. But she was supposedly sold into like was used for in child pornography as a little girl, and then I believe she says her father sold her to Gerald Ford, and this was like before he was president, obviously. And then she was with this guy who was a country music star, Boxcar Willie, and then so she had like this crazy life, and then she had a daughter who was a victim, and then this guy who supposedly is an ex-CIA agent helped kind of deprogram her or get her away from it. I think they went up to Alaska for a while or something. Then she wrote the book about everything. But
yeah, it's a crazy story, bro. But like, I mean, there was probably hundreds, if not thousands, of victims of the mind control shit just in the LSD, the MK Ultra shit.
And she talked about like the mutation, genitals and shit like that. I'm just looking for the Nolan Ryan stuff because I brought it up.
That's just insane.
Yeah,
I can believe it though.
I mean, when you have an influential figure and they have enough money and they have opportunity, it seems like, it's easy to think that these people, when they have that kind of elite mentality and that kind of stuff behind them to help them push them forward, what limit do they really stop at,
Well, it's not even just that, man. It's like you could have nothing. Like, say, like, for example, you're just Nolan Ryan and you're a guy that knows that you can make some money off a blow.
Sure.
And you're like, okay, I got some friends from when we were kids. You don't ever lose the neighborhood, whoever.
Sure.
If he's from Southern California.
Right.
Shit. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And get some blow. And
I mean,
you got $1 million contract, you're probably flooding the streets with it.
Yeah. I mean, and when you have enough money to buy a supply, you know what I mean? It's a whole different thing.
Well, what era was that? What era was that? That was
Nolan
the 60s
Ryan
or the
pitched.
70s?
Nolan Ryan pitched, I think, from a very late. I don't think he was on the '69 Mets that won the World Series, but he definitely pitched.
The 70s.
He definitely pitched in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s because he pitched till he was like 45 years old.
Yeah, like 3 decades. I remember seeing that.
He definitely pitched in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I don't think he was on that '69 Mets team. He may have been a rookie.
She doesn't get into any more of the fucking reptilian shapeshifters. She just fucking...
No, that's the weird thing is, she just kind of drops it in there when she's talking about a conversation she had with him, and she said, he said that the people who run things, basically, like, you have no idea. The people who run things aren't human, like, alluded to that, and I don't remember if it's necessarily, like, reptilian or something like that, but I know Ike cites her talking about that in one of his books. That's what made it stick out to me. I'm like, you're right. He's right. She did say that, and then just kind of passed over like it was a UFO type thing because she didn't go into it. It was just
right. But why?
Casually speaking, right? Yeah. So
no, that's pretty.
It's
cool.
wild. I mean, she talks about like all the abuse from like George Bush because she claims she was a presidential model mind control slave. So she was
presidential model.
Yeah.
Mind control slave.
Oh, bro,
that's fucking wild.
They're still doing weirdo shit like that. What was it when Tom Cruise broke up with Katie Holmes? Like, they said that, like, Tom, like, and I don't know how true it is, but they said they had, like, 50 women just, like, lined up.
Yeah,
and,
for
like,
him to
all
pick
of
from,
them,
right?
Yeah, all of them, like, brainwashed. Like, interviewed.
Like, I'll be whatever you want me to be.
Yeah, like, they were brainwashed them.
Interviewing women that obviously had to have a certain image, certain looks, certain all that. It's all fucking weird.
Yeah, weird shit. Yeah, Hollywood, man. What do we got, Kenny?
1:30 almost.
All right, no doubt. How's that looking? Because you started that one afterwards, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. No, but I did want to touch on this fucking shit with the UK and the Queen and like this Operation Legacy. You guys ever heard of it?
I have not.
So like Operation Legacy was like a program of like where the monarchy went and destroyed all the files from all of its ex colonies to like remove them from fucking like what was it, being fucking in trouble. Like anything that would make them look bad,
incriminate them,
right? Anything that would incriminate them. They like set up
from all the counties. I'm sorry, from all the counties that are now broken free from them.
I'll Google it.
Okay,
just so I'm not butchering the shit because I had it up.
Right, but the idea is that it's the counties that are broken free from them. Is what you're saying? Is that they England destroyed all the evidence of anything that would have incriminated them from what they did to them in the past?
So, Operation Legacy was a British colonial office, later foreign office, program to destroy or hide files to prevent them from being inherited by its ex-colonies. Yeah,
so it was suppressing the ex-colonies from finding dirt on their oppressor for so many years.
They're getting rid of the shit. But their methods of operation, like the MI-15 or Special Branch agents, vetted all secret documents in the colonial administrations to find those that could embarrass the British government, for instance, by showing racial or religious bias.
What?
They identified 8,800 files to conceal from at least 23 countries and territories in the 1950s and 60s and destroyed them or sent them to the United Kingdom.
So they effectively destroyed their negative history so it couldn't come back to bite them in the ass.
Well, you don't want to leave a bunch of people you invaded with legal evidence of of like shit you should be paying them for.
Sure. But
precise instructions were given for methods to be used for destruction, including burning and dumping at sea. Some of the files detailed torture methods used against opponents of the colonial administration, such as during the Mau Mau uprising.
And this was in the 50s and 60s?
This was in the 50s and 60s. That they went through and started like taking them out. And like, now it's crazy because I posted on the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast page on Facebook, and on Instagram actually, but like just a picture of all the colonies that are still under the fucking monarchy.
Yeah.
In 2022, like this is still cool. Like this is like what the fuck? Like Barbados just got their shit back.
Yeah, there's a few places that and I saw an article too the other day that said that there are a bunch of countries now that the Queen has died. They're gonna try to get out from under their rule.
What, a bunch of countries are?
Yeah, that are still under their rule. I don't know. You see all this shit when it comes out after someone dies, especially her. But I did see a pretty impressive map, and it showed all the countries on Earth that have not been invaded or at a war with Britain, and the whole fucking globe is blue except for a few white dots here and there,
right?
Scattered. Where
like,
what the fuck?
Well, the whole
colonizers, that's what they do.
They want their piece of every pie.
Well, it's just insane, dude, that they would fucking like still here now, like when we're so trying to be progressive out here.
Yeah, they were saying they're gonna be like 30 hour waits.
Canceling the fucking Queen yet? Like,
yeah, you get to rule because of your bloodline.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Born.
So that's the other thing.
Your parents fucked, and we have this bloodline, so you get to rule.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to ask you guys is like, where do you both think that and where the monarchy is headed? Like, do you think like this guy is going to be king? He's Charles, right?
I think he's going to be a short-lived king.
Well, he's 74 too. Yeah. So I mean, but
not going to be too long.
But
they live
he
for
ain't going to be a
20-year
king.
Those people. He would only be 94. Philip lived to be like 98 or something too, I think. And he looked like a fucking corpse for 5 years, and he still got him up around. King. Never know. 74. They have the best.
Bro, his mom was the longest reigning monarch in
70 years.
I think he abdicates because isn't it a thing that he wants to do away with the monarchy?
I don't know.
No, dude, you're out of your mind. This dude, like,
he's always kind of been
they
plotting
showed him on
or
a
wanting
video, bro, like where like he was sitting down at a desk and homie had like things in front of it. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, and it was
like,
water.
He's like, yeah, like,
get that shit away.
Clear it off,
bro. Like that's
They do that as a prince, though. He's been doing that his whole life. You know what I mean? Like they showed a picture and
that's
it's
bred
like
into
acting
it,
like
bro.
it's all cute, but it's showing him at his mother's coronation, and he's like sitting there, you know, with his hands on his cheeks, all grumpy, while she's like going through the coronation. And they're like, "Oh, here's 7-year-old Charles, or 4-year-old Charles, because he's 74 and 70." Yeah, so like here's 4-year-old Charles enjoying the coronation, but he was like all pissed off. Just
Sure,
snotty little fucking kid.
who the fuck wants to be? Yo, I want to have fun, bro. Like,
Right.
I don't want to fucking.
I'm
do all
under
this
a microscope
weirdo
my
shit.
whole life.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, again, they keep
Look
them
more
so-
bratty than anything. Is what I was
Yeah.
saying. You know what I mean? Look like just a spoiled little. Even though he's only 4, but still by 4 you can tell on kids.
Yeah.
He's already got personal butlers and shit. I'm sure.
Yeah,
4 years
Well,
old.
yeah, dude, and nannies and whatever, because you're barely getting a real solid relationship with your parent. And
Yeah, well, the queen's name wasn't even really Elizabeth. You know what I mean? And so, like, very few people, if
they were
ever she
surprised.
ever went by her real name, with maybe 2-3 people in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, she took Elizabeth, right?
Right.
Like that's what. She
Yeah, they were
was
surprised he
pointing
kept
to.
Charles. They didn't.
Did he
think
keep it?
Yeah,
he
he's
was Charles III. They didn't think he would because I guess there were some controversies with the first Charles I and Charles II.
Well, yeah, but maybe he's just saying, you know what? Maybe I'm going to try to be the first Charles.
Okay, I had my wife killed, so whatever.
Yo, so crazy.
Dude.
Yeah, this is another thing that I read. It was that fucking allegedly there was a love child with him and Camilla, and they shipped it off.
Yeah, I've
And
seen that.
there's some guy out there on Twitter right now, like that says he wants a DNA test.
And there's supposedly,
I'm the rightful heir to the throne.
I believe there's somebody.
I swear.
Yeah, because if he was older than William, he would be. If he's Charles' first son, he would be heir to the throne after Charles.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but
And I believe there's like somebody out there who
give him the
claims
DNA test.
that they are like the son or daughter of Princess Diana and that Dodi Fayed guy or who.
oh yeah,
the guy
Dodi Fayed.
who died with her, and they were allegedly having an affair and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was actually true, but they did end up being together after they.
Yeah, no, they were in a relationship.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
let's see who was. Come on. Charles was banging Camilla. She,
And who knows?
she
who
was on
else
her way
that-
out. The firm definitely didn't like her at a certain point. And
Yeah.
I mean, how old would Diana be right now? She'd only be like 50-something, right?
no,
She
she'd
died
be-
She died like 30-something years ago. So she's probably in her 60s. She had to be like in her early 30s when she
Yeah,
died.
32, 33.
And then I'd have to say it's been about 30 years, right? That was early 90s.
Diana when she passed.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Was killed.
Well, that's it's that's another conspiracy that drives me bananas because it's so obvious. Like he's banging Camilla, he wants her out of the picture. She turns up with the.
She was 36, by the way.
She was 36.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so
She died in 97.
She died in 97. What year was she born?
61.
So
So 61
60.
to 01 is 40 years. And then another 21. So she'd be 61, 62 years old.
That's right. I said 60 in the 60s. But that shit, they whacked her out, bro.
It was 90. Did you say it was 91?
96.
97.
90.
She died.
Oh,
Damn.
wow. I
Lost
didn't
Tupac, then Diana. Jesus.
I didn't think. Yeah, for
And
some reason I
Biggie,
thought I was
shit.
younger when that.
It was a
happened.
crazy year.
Yeah.
Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and then you got William, Prince of Wales. They just got the term Prince of Wales because their father moved up, took the position, so now they live in the Welsh castle is there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, they get to choose where their residence is, but they're like, they have like certain duties or whatever over these.
No, I think they had to
realms.
take that. I think they had to take that position in Wales. I was just watching something where, like, because it's the specific position of like the next in line or something, he had to at least move there for I don't know if it was just for photo op or what, but like they actually live in that spot in Wales now.
Shit.
They took the spot that his dad previously lived in.
And it's like, why wouldn't you? Because I'm sure that's like one of the bigger castles and one
Sure.
of the better
But they
estates.
also have like 6 titles, so they're not just. He's not just the Prince of Wales. He's the Prince of Wales and the Duke of whatever he was, Kensington or whatever before this, and whatever the hell it was. He's got like 6 titles.
Yeah, dude. Listen, that's one thing that they absolutely love is the worship.
Oh yeah,
Of that shit, the pomp,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Like, oh, I'm this guy with all these badges, and I'm the
Queen would be pulled around in a fucking gold carriage.
Why do you think people
All right, let's
follow?
see if I
Why?
can find his titles.
Right, but why do you think people do this? Like, why do you think people like? So we had to fight an independence, or allegedly a revolutionary war, to be independent, and then we're worshiping the Queen. Why do Americans?
I know
do
it's
that?
funny. I literally saw like some people on social media posting stuff to the Queen, and I'm like,
I
at the
saw
4th
mad
of July,
people, bro.
I think this guy was the one who posted like "fuck you" to the Queen or some shit. I'm like,
Here's that I can
titles, by
understand,
the
but I'm
way.
talking about like the other.
well, no,
shit.
I'm saying like on the 4th of July, you're
in support.
you hate the Queen. You're like, "fuck you, Britain," like Mr. America, and then when she dies, you're posting the same person is posting some like
Yeah, I miss you. I'm gonna
tribute type thing.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Is like, why do they do it?
So you got William, Duke of Cornwall, and Duke of Rothesay, and that's only following his father Charles' ascension to the throne. And then the following day, he was made Prince of Wales and Earl of Chester, titles reserved for the heir apparent of the reigning monarch. Catherine became Princess of Wales.
Right.
Because he's heir apparent, they're in that
shit
position.
is so weird. The
Yeah.
bloodline shit is so crazy too, man.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at that shit, like you said earlier,
And
it's all
they're not
inbred
even
motherfuckers.
British, they're German.
They're German.
So it's like you're not even fucking British.
Sax and Gotha, right? That's
Yeah,
what it
something
is.
like that. Saxon Gothberg, some weird shit.
Yeah.
Gothe or something like that.
Something like that. But they got ran out of Germany.
Harry and Meghan's kids received titles as well, so
Really?
yeah.
I don't
What are they getting at?
I don't know, but I can look it up. It says they received titles as well, which is
Does that come with a check?
probably
Definitely.
yeah,
It's like
it's
a
built
stipend.
in. It's
Yeah,
built
they got
in.
it.
So even if the parents are being dicks to the family, the kids get
They just
The royal treatment.
They don't even. They probably don't even swipe credit cards. Everything's just brought to them, bought for them.
What did you think about
Acquired.
Andrew walking out there in the public like that?
Yeah, it's first time, huh? Didn't they have like a video of him like touching some chick's ass? Maybe it was his wife or something. But I could have swore I saw a video of him like he put his hand on the small of her back and like grabbed her ass.
Stop it.
I swear I saw it somewhere, like one of them Instagram reels or some shit.
Nah, I saw that shit, man. No.
I think it might have been like his wife. Like he like had his hand on her back and he was like bending down and like rubbed her ass.
Damn.
But it was just funny.
You know,
Because it's him.
and this is like recent, or this is like
this was
old
after
shit?
this was like right after the Queen died.
Come on, this
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
is not fucking around. He's
Right.
like, "Yo, baby, I just beat this case. we paid her. She's gone. Epstein's gone.
Yeah,
You know?
Seville dead.
And now Grammy's gone. I can get back in the royal family. I ain't got to pay her
I
back
know a
all
whole
that money.
bunch of shit about Philip.
Right.
all right. So the children of Harry and Meghan never had His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness title until Charles'
that's right.
ascension because
HRH.
yeah, HRH, right? Because until his ascension, they weren't in a direct line of ascension to the throne. But any heir of the specifically like the current monarch or the king or whatever, so because it's the king, either of his sons could potentially end up on the throne if something happened to the other one. You know what I mean? So because Harry's grandmother,
Yeah, so technically
he wasn't in line then.
4 or 5. So
Yeah, no.
His,
But when-
his oldest son is 4 or 5, 6th in line.
Right. So like he's still
The
in
other
line
one's
now. So
7th.
now they get His and Her Royal Highness title, which let's see. It also says about Andrew's daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. They have
So
their
if-
Royal Highnesses.
If Charles dies, Camilla doesn't become queen, like stay queen.
No,
and run
She's
the
no,
queen
no, no.
consort.
No. She would never, ever be
because
queen.
she's not the bloodline.
She's not the bloodline. So it would
That's
go
what I
right to
thought.
William, and then she would
I
go
never
to
thought I
that.
was thinking about
Queen
that.
mother or some bullshit,
Some-
right?
I don't know if
Or
she'd
king,
get that.
king, yeah.
I don't know if and that's dude, why do they do that shit? It's like, and why do they get money from, like, the Commonwealth? Like,
well, I mean, she had, like, that one handbag that she always carried, but in different colors. I remember reading years ago, like, or seeing it on, like, 2020 or some shit when they were doing something about the Queen that, I mean, she had, like, thousands of those handbags. Just, like, use it once and then...
Did you see the controversy over the diamond in her crown?
Well, yeah, the one crown is the one diamond's like the crown jewel of Africa, and then she has
it's one of the largest diamonds ever cut.
And then there's another one that she has like in one of her scepters or a different crown that's like the biggest one, that's like from India, that was stolen from India. I mean, we know what the British Empire did. I mean, they've pillaged stuff.
We know
from
some
everywhere
of what they've done.
Yeah, but I
right.
mean, they've just pillaged for centuries and centuries. So I mean.
Well, they extorted the shit out of people too.
I mean, they've looted museums. I mean, anything you can think of, from art to books to historical things from museums, they've taken it.
Yeah, I wish I had the official number of like what they were saying was in her like treasury, like what she personally owned, like, and then what was like actually the monarchs, like the monarchies. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She had a ton of stuff too. She had like I believe she has if it's not just hers or if it's the crown's, but a huge horse farm in like Kentucky or somewhere. When she came to the country for the first time in all those years, when George Bush was president, that was like one of the first places they went to were horse races in like her horse farm.
That's all right. So here's Elizabeth's the money behind the crown. What happens to Queen Elizabeth II's personal assets? Oh, they need me to subscribe, the bastards.
Yeah, no, we gotta start wrapping this one up anyway because we're running out of video time.
We got Canelo and Triple G coming up, and
it'd be good. We got the fight
2
time
hours
tonight.
Anyway. So
yeah, hell yeah, man! It was
good fight. Good fight before that too.
Personal fortune from castles, jewels, and more will be inherited by Charles. She received income through the taxpayer fund that is used to maintain royal palaces and royal duties such as receptions and travel. So,
and I mean, the crown is the largest landowners.
$88 billion is what the royal family was estimated worth.
Yeah.
As of 2017.
Yeah. And that's probably just. I mean, obviously, that's not
surface.
Even. Yeah, that's not including assets. I wouldn't think.
No, it's not personal.
How do you put a price on Windsor Castle? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how do you put a price on these estates they have?
Elizabeth's personal wealth is closer to $500 million from her investments, art, jewels, and real estate, according to 2021 Forbes.
Look up how much land the crown owns. And obviously they count countries that are still under the crown, but it's insane. It's largest landowners on earth still, by far. No one or any country even close.
Consisting of around 106,000 hectares or 263,000 acres across the UK. They also include 26,900 hectares or 66,500 acres of common land, principally in Wales. Right to the extract minerals covers some 115.5 hectares, which is 285.5 acres. Property, residential, seabed management, real estate services, offices. Net income is 269.3 million rather. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of land.
Yeah,
and it's all dropped down and right to the owner, the king.
And none of it's theirs.
Yeah, but it's in the king's hands as of when she died.
Yeah. Yep, and people still worship this shit. People are still shouting out the queen, saying, yo, God bless the queen. Boo fucking who.
Crazy.
Well, I guess the Roman Catholic Church is the largest landowners on earth.
Really?
70 million hectares.
What's that?
But I don't.
That's probably
honestly,
like 100.
I don't think. Yeah, they're not.
Like
never mind.
So 140 million acres.
They're not counting like the crown and stuff. This is like individuals or companies.
Yeah, on the next episode, we gotta get into the Vatican vaults and shit.
Oh man,
Vatican's super intriguing too, man.
Yeah, I mean the room there with I don't know which room it's. I don't know what the name of it is.
It's probably archives you're talking about, right?
It's the room that has like these statues in the background. It looks like something out of a fucking metal video.
Oh,
looks like a Satanist room. Have you seen it? It was on a Rogan podcast.
Is that the Vatican?
Yeah. It is something wild. I'll show it to you. It looks like something Satanist. You'd never think it's at the Vatican.
Oh shit.
The one you're talking about, the snake? The one that looks like a snake? Sorry, I got a text from my daughter.
No.
I'll
show it to you.
I thought you were talking about the one that looks like the snake head.
This room. Look at this. You can't tell me that that's biblical. This shit. Come on.
I mean,
it's like demons and shit.
Oh, that was like, I think that was like a holiday setup or something too, for like some holiday thing they were doing. I've seen that before.
Well, I guess that's a like permanent room.
Really?
Yeah, no, those are like demon statues coming out of a wall, and like he sits there like on a throne in front of it.
The statue of the resurrection.
Yeah, check that out. It's really, really uncomfortable to look at. You're like, oh, that's a unique looking.
Oh, well, that's what's so intriguing about the Vatican is that there's those shadow societies and all those secret institutions, their partnerships with the mafia and the Freemasons. There's so much to get into there. Demons. Yeah, it's kind of blurry.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't really make out like what was in the background.
It's like they're coming out of the gates of hell or something.
Yeah, there's Statue of the Resurrection, yeah.
But either way, we're going to wrap this shit up because we are just about out of time. And, thanks for fucking coming on, chap. We got to do this again.
Yeah, man.
There's so much cool shit we got to talk about. And
come up with a topic and do something.
That's what I mean. Go hard on it.
One thing again.
Yeah, I would love it.
I like doing that.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like
just try to get Bruce back on too.
Talk to him. See what's up.
I'm actually gonna be seeing him in a couple weeks actually.
Hell yeah, man! I got him on Facebook, but I don't know.
I don't know how.
I'll let you step to him.
He's like iffy on that. Well, he's hit or miss. He's like either on all the time or not at all, or banned.
Good for him. God bless Bruce.
He gets banned all the time. And he doesn't try to. It annoys him when he gets banned. It pisses him off because he's like,
yeah,
sure. Like, censor me. All I said was this. I'm like, I know, Bruce.
But they are.
That's what they do.
They do it for less.
Yeah. He doesn't get it, the generational difference, so he doesn't fully get why they're doing it. He's just like, what? I didn't do anything. I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't say anything bad. I just put some information. Like, bing.
Yeah, flag them. And once you get going on those things, man, they start to do it a lot quicker.
Yeah. Then the bans get longer. I think he's had a couple accounts fully suspended.
Holy shit.
Oh, when he first got on Facebook.
That's the Trump ban.
Yeah, like, you know how like we always send each other the shit we see of other people posting on pages we don't even follow, but
it's so cool.
You'll see like shit your friends post on.
It's the best. Shout out to Tommy Seymour.
Yeah, seems. But I would always see that stuff with Bruce, and he would write like 5-6 paragraph rants about just all these stats and facts and things like that, and that's why you're getting banned, bro. That's why they're canceling your entire account.
Yep.
Seems got his account canceled too, or was it hacked?
I think his might have been hacked.
Okay.
Ray got his shit Trump banned too. Like but he goes hard in the paint. With the meme shit.
Yeah, Ray don't hold back.
But shout out to all them dudes, man, and fucking thanks for listening. We don't forget we got the toy drive coming up. Stopping the Flippers, stopping the Straight Razor Society, and help us out. Make sure we can get this fucking toy drive to be the best one yet. And
yes,
let's bring in the good energy, man. It's time. It's that fucking weirdo season where I
can feel it in the air, brother. Yes, sir.
Yo, it's been super cold out lately, right? It's been brisk. It's starting to feel like fall.
There's a snap
here in upstate New York, and let's get it, man. We appreciate you guys, and Chad, thanks again, man. It's fucking
it's been fun. Got to do it soon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll try to get this fucking video shit down too, and see what's up with that, and see our ugly mugs. Peace out.
Peace.